On this week's episode of Friend Code, we're talking about what's coming out in 2019. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Friend Code. I'm your host, Michael Damiani. On this week's episode, I'm joined by Michael Huber.
Hello.
Ben Moore.
Hey.
It's 2019.
It is.
Are you still doing this thing where you fill out any forms? Do you still rate 2018 or have you gotten over that hurdle yet?
I haven't filled out any forms yet.
I had to write a
anything out.
check. I had to write my rent check, and I wrote 2019. I was proud.
Nice.
Because wasting a check sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I said something like, "Oh, that came out last year," and I think I meant 2017, not 2018. So that it has tripped me up a little bit, but yeah, no paperwork yet.
Woo. Always a new and exciting feeling to be in a new year. Mm-hmm. New games coming out. Got a lot of stuff.
Switch.
A lot of stuff for the Nintendo and Switch. Not everything here is a video game.
Oh, okay.
There's not everything here is just for Switch either. Coming in 2019. As I was going through the list of stuff, I was like, I forgot this is coming out. This is not for Switch. I was like, it's Nintendo though, and I was like, whoa, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out this year. But yeah, everyone have a good holiday break and everything. Mm-hmm. Like get some good relaxation, some time off.
Yeah, it was nice for me, especially because I always try to like play something that I'm not doing for work, just for me, just to have a little bit of fun. So I always have something in the rotation or multiple things in the rotation. But over break, it was like I'm only playing things that I want to play. I think there was some like sense of commitment to Game of the Year, but I still felt it was like, no, I want to play Valkyria Chronicles 4 because I want to play Valkyria Chronicles 4. I want to start Kiwami 2 and all that stuff. So that was really nice. And I saw some movies. Saw Halloween.
Dude, you did?
I did, yes.
What do you think?
I liked it. There were some things I didn't like, so I was kind of hesitant to say that to you.
Okay.
Just because I know you love it so much.
Yeah.
There were some things that I didn't like, but we had a good time.
Cool.
So like Venom and what else did we see? Oh, Into the Spider-Verse, which was amazing.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I know, I need to.
We kind of had this conversation on Frame Trap, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll just say I got to play a good amount of Monster Hunter World.
Nice. Did you
dude.
like it?
Good, yes.
Okay, cool.
Good moments.
What
in that
weapon
game.
did you use?
Good weapons in that game.
What'd you use, Damian?
I went and I literally tried out every single weapon first.
Nice.
I went the chat helped me find the training area, the training ground area, so I tried out everything. I still went the greatsword.
Nice. Classic.
Just went. That's every Monster Hunter game. That's usually what I play is, and I don't forget what it's called, but I just call it the Dragoon weapon.
The Interglaive.
Yeah. It's called the Dragoon weapon. I was having fun with that.
You got to get that Dragoon armor.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
I was like, I need that too, but I had just played so many games before with that class, and it was just easier for me to play, like make progress in that game as that, and just had a blast with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely looking forward to playing more of that.
You need to have a hunt with Huber where he's swinging around with the hammer. It's a
Dude,
good time.
the
It's a good time. The spin.
The front flip.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Huber.
Dude, when the expansion comes out.
Iceborne, baby.
I'll be ready for that. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yes.
But
The weekly
unfortunately,
Hunts expansion. I like this.
Yeah.
We get our own
expansion edition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, that is not on Nintendo Switch. Who knows? Maybe in the future. But I wanted to start off first by going through the list of confirmed games. There aren't that many that have confirmed release dates, like hard dates in 2019.
John Wick levels of confirmation.
I just have this sense that a lot more is going to get confirmed really soon.
Yeah, I feel like within a short period after this is released, we're gonna have maybe confirmation of a lot more, but we'll see. The first two games actually already, by the time you're listening to this, they will already be out technically, and it's obviously Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story,
Nice.
plus Bowser's Jr.'s Journey for the 3DS.
What is the Bowser's Journey part? Junior Bowser? That's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Bowser Jr.'s Journey part of Bowser's Inside Story.
I believe it's what Bowser Jr. is doing during the game.
Okay, cool.
It's like, hey, here's what Bowser Jr. was up to during the events of this
and this
game.
is a new one.
This is a re-release or
With
redo.
this bonus stuff.
That stuff is new, though.
Yeah.
Yes, that stuff is new.
That's
I never
awesome.
played through Bowser's Inside Story. I started it, but I didn't finish it, and so I'm like really. Everybody's always said amazing things about Bowser's Inside Story.
For these ones, for the handheld Mario RPG stuff, I've just bounced around like to different ones. I feel like I've
done
missed
that too.
out
Yeah.
on so many, and I just never have enough time to play these.
It is weird, because things fall through the cracks, but I feel like Mario and Luigi and like Paper Mario's games for a long time always fell through the cracks for me, and especially now after Thousand Year Door, I want that to happen way less.
Yeah. Is this on Switch?
No, this is only on 3DS, which is the big point, Cuber, because this, along with Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which is just a 3DS version of the Wii game that came out all those years ago, are the last two.
I didn't even know Epic Yarn was coming out. It's coming on 3DS?
Yeah. These are like the last two like high profile, if you could call them that, first party Nintendo games come out for 3DS. Like we're seeing like the end of the 3DS here, Huber. So I know your headache of why aren't these on Switch?
Yeah,
it's coming to an end, Huber. The end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel is visible now.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I just feel like with Epic Yarn specifically, like I know everybody always says they want everything on Switch, but I feel like with Epic Yarn specifically, part of the fun is playing co-op, and I'm just not going to do that on 3DS, whereas it would be
you would definitely
easier
do that on Switch.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
You think new handheld will be announced in 2019, or they're just going to ride the Switch?
No, I think Switch is the only thing for this year.
Got it.
I don't think they have a new handheld being announced anytime soon. But yeah, like Mario RPG stuff, Ben. Like you after playing Thousand Year Door, for me, I very easily dismissed with bias the original Paper Mario for N64 when it came out, because I was like, this is not Super Mario RPG 2. Get out of here. Where's my Super Mario RPG 2?
Wasn't Paper Mario originally titled Super Mario RPG 2? Yeah,
I believe it was, and it had that working title, and then it became what it is. I had to have a bunch of people who I knew in person to do like, dude, come on, like it's actually good. And I did eventually play it during the N64 era, and I was like, yes, this is actually pretty good. So I was on board with Paper Mario before Thousand Year Door came out, and ever since Thousand Year Door was released, I played every single Paper Mario game when they came out, the exception of I even played Color Splash for a little bit, but my tone on it has kind of soured recently because of Sticker Star was just okay, not great. And then Color Splash was, I think people felt it was better, but still wasn't exceptional in my book. So
it was weird for me. I rented Paper Mario from Blockbuster as a kid, and I loved it, but I only had it as a rental. And then I'd always heard that Thousand Year Door was great, and so by the time I got a Wii, I was like, oh, I'll play Super Paper Mario. I know it's not an RPG, but maybe it will excite me just as much. I didn't really click with Super Paper Mario, and then I played Sticker Star, and I really didn't click with Sticker Star, and so I think it kind of alienated me a little bit from that. I mean, I was always curious, but I just wasn't pouncing on it the way that I would if I hadn't had those bad experiences.
So it definitely makes sense. I think it's honestly gone mostly downhill since Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, I do feel bad that Mario and Luigi kind of got caught up in that, because based on my limited experience with them, those seem pretty good. The ads for Paper Mario were amazing. So in magazines, it would have Paper Mario in this white page, and it would have like cut lines around it, and it would say free demo. It's pretty good.
That is
pretty good.
Yeah.
Super good.
The other game that will be out by the time you're listening to this, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, the port of the Wii U game, as well as the Luigi content. It is obviously is the next of the Wii U ports getting a Switch version. I guess the question kind of is not so much about this game, because it's a known quantity. This game has been covered to death. It's Peachette. I was about to say Bowsette.
You want to?
I want to. Peachette's the big new thing, and Nabbit as well. But I think the question is, what other Wii U ports do you think or would like to see in 2019? Because this trend's kind of been going on since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe hit back in 2017.
Galaxy.
That seems like an obvious one.
Oh man, Galaxy would be Galaxy 1 and 2 bundle. Yeah.
But that was Wii.
Yeah, but that's totally possible. Like, include Wii games.
Include
as well.
Wii. Okay,
include Wii games. As well.
Yeah, Galaxy.
Yeah, Galaxy's fine.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Oh, and 3D World.
There you go.
3D
World. I was like, Huber, you
love 3D World.
You love it so much. That was a Wii U game.
Not my favorite, but I love the fact that it exists as this local co-op Mario. It's its own thing, and I love it.
It's, for me, I feel like the Wii U is at a point where they're bringing enough stuff over, and I don't feel like there are that many Wii U first party games to begin with, and especially not that many like absolutely amazing. Except like bring them all over. Bring me a Pikmin Collection. Bring me Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
The biggest hole in my Wii, the only hole left actually, that you love, Wonderful 101.
Wonderful 101, yeah. Bring Wonderful
That's
101
what
over.
I was gonna ask about. Yeah.
That one, because we've talked about this question before, it does use the tablet pretty well, and so I don't know how they would solve those things, but it's weird that so long ago that was hinted at, and we haven't really seen any follow-up.
Yeah, I wonder about that one. I'm sure they could. I mean, just like even like a game like The World Ends With You, which had like its version, Switch version that came out. They reworked the controls and stuff, obviously, for that to work. I'm sure they could do with Wonderful 101. I mean, yeah, there's lots of obvious answers, I think. I still expect... I would be shocked if, like, the Wind Waker HD doesn't get, like, a Switch like port, because it's a game Nintendo really believes in. They know it has a huge following for it. Unfortunately, Wii U did not have a huge following. I think that was, like, the worst kind of situation for that game to come out in. If it come out like in any other, if it came out like in the Wii era, or if it came out on Switch now, it'd probably do way better, and it obviously will. So I totally expect that. Same thing with like Twilight Princess HD. I think that to a lesser extent really needs it, but that Wind Waker HD I expect would be a good one, especially in a time when they need like probably a new Zelda game, because it's gonna be a while to like the next full blown one.
Don't say that.
It'd be a good, like till Breath of the Wild 2, essentially.
I'm very into collections, Damiani. And
but Nintendo isn't.
Yeah, the Switch is such a perfect platform for collections when you have this big block of games where you either are replaying favorites or playing things that you missed out on. And on the Wii, they did anniversary collections. They did like Super Mario All-Stars, and they did this Kirby, I believe it was the 20th anniversary collection. And I just want that. Just give me all Kirby, or a good chunk of Kirby on the Switch, or Mario, or Metroid, or whatever it is. I would love. You're right. Nintendo doesn't do a ton of collections, but that's something
they have done. I mean, you're right. They even did one with like Zelda. They did a collection for that as well.
Are you talking about the GameCube pre-order? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would love it if they did just did a Zelda collection. Who cares what it's called?
Yeah, Master Quest on it.
Yeah. That was
love that
first official release of it. That was really cool.
That was a 10 out of 10.
I would love if they just took like the Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD. Hey, even take those 2 3DS, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D. Just like upscale those to like 720 or HD or whatever.
Mario
it's gonna
3D
take.
Land.
Yeah, do a Mario
Between
collection.
Worlds.
Like imagine if they did a Galaxy 1, 2, and 3D World, like the
final mix.
I like this humor.
Odyssey
Mario
2.8 final chapter
Mario,
prologue.
Yeah. And they give that's a good one, Huber.
I do have to wonder if like maybe the reason they shy away from that is because those games individually still command enough on their own where you could release just A Link to the Past on Switch and it would do probably fairly well. So
yeah.
I definitely think that's the reason, Ben. I agree with that.
Hey, how about a Mother collection though?
That'd be nice.
I need to get through any of those games, and having them all 3 on Switch would be amazing.
Damiani, do you think in your lifetime A Link to the Past will be remade?
Remade? No, because they got. I think A Link Between Worlds was it. Okay. It's like a spiritual sequel. I mean, in Japan it's called A Link to the Past 2, technically.
Got it.
I think that's like pretty much like all I really asked for out of that. It was pretty good.
Cool.
So, sorry, those were coming out. They will be out by now, but January 11th was the date on those. Next up, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes on January 18th.
Out of nowhere.
I believe Ben will be you'll be reviewing this or doing something with it.
I will be reviewing it. I have not, as of this recording, I have not played a single second of Travis Strikes Again. I've seen some previews that other people have done. And Travis Strikes Again is like kind of an exciting anomaly where they're bringing back this well-deserved, loved character. And it's a No More Heroes game, kind of, but it's also doing this crazy thing where you're playing a whole bunch of different styles of games. And much like a lot of what Suda51 does, I feel like it could either be really awesome and it'll be super fun bouncing between all of these things, or all of these things will feel a little half finished. I don't know. I'm hoping obviously it goes the first way, but it's just, kind of a new, weird, exciting thing, and it's a good way to start out Switch in 2019, I think.
Yeah, such a solid exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sorry. I was reading my notes and you answered the question I was about to ask, and I was like, "Don't do that. Don't be dumb like that." But the one I do want to ask about, like, it does sound like, you gave us your thoughts on that. You sound pretty like excited about what it could be.
Very curious.
But do you also think?
Intrigued.
Yes.
I guess, like, how do you feel about this in relation to potentially getting a proper No More Heroes 3? Is that something you still want to see? Do you have like any? Do you have any ideas behind, like, I see people say, like, oh, if this does well, it'll obviously lead to a No More Heroes 3. Like,
I want to say they've used the same
Yeah.
language. I can't say it with 100% certainty, but I feel like I've seen articles reporting that that's kind of the path that they're interested in. With No More Heroes 3, I'm all for it. I think No More Heroes is super fun, but I guess for me, it depends on how they frame it. If it is just, hey, you're climbing through the assassin ranks again, not that won't be enjoyable, not that doing all those boss fights, they can get super crazy and wild, like there's still plenty of room for creativity there, but I hope it expands a little bit, like maybe bring back the open world in 1 that wasn't in 2, and maybe flesh it out, because you have more power to work with, maybe that world could be more interesting. I don't think everything has to be open world. I wouldn't necessarily want it to be open world in the same way that other games have tackled open world, but just exploring and having maybe that exploration be a little bit more meaningful in No More Heroes could be cool.
And take advantage of the Switch functionality.
Yeah.
I haven't, it's ever since 1-2 Switch, I feel like haven't really gotten the gimmick stuff. You know, the gimmick has kind of taken a back seat. So I think No More Heroes, especially this weird spin-off where you're going through all these different worlds, is such a perfect avenue to have really weird, clever, cool Switch stuff.
And you're completely right, Hubert. That's one of the best things about No More Heroes is you want
Those
to play it with
mini-games.
just recharging your sword, shaking the Wii remote, or raising it to attack high or lowering it to attack low. It used the Wii remote in a way that made sense and like wasn't constantly annoying. So I think that's a really good point.
Good stuff. I definitely think that came to mind. Motion controls, like taking the Joy-Cons, using them as they called is it beam sword?
Beam katana.
Beam katana.
Yeah.
Katana hype, dude.
Good stuff. That thing was like cool.
I love that like just words can get you excited.
Yeah.
Beam katana.
Beam katana, dude. So cool.
This next one's late to the party, but it just shows that third parties still believe their games can find some degree of success and get some extra sales on the Switch. BlazBlue Central Fiction is finally coming to Switch. But it's like, so it's 2 years later. It's a 2016 fighting game.
Wow.
2 years later, they still think it's viable enough to come out on Switch, because last year they did bring Cross Tag Battle to Switch, which is a multi-platform entry in the series that had all those guest characters as a part of it. I don't know if that was considered a mainline entry or a spin-off, though.
Cross tag?
Yeah, Cross Tag.
I believe Cross Tag is considered a spin-off.
Okay, considered a spin-off. But I mean, I think this is more indicative of that. A lot of these, especially fighting games, are going to start seeing kind of day-and-date releases on Switch when they go multi-platform. And I think they probably saw with Cross Tag Battle that I'm assuming they probably saw it did well enough to like, hey, Central Fiction, let's bring that on Switch well. Like, there's definitely a market for that, and I think they might read it depending on how well it does. You might see the next entry in the series coming to Switch along with those other platforms like immediately, instead of having to wait for a port later on.
Yeah, I think the reason that I chuckle is every time I play BlazBlue, I have a great time. They're great games. I haven't kept up with it as well as I would like, but I find it a little bit funny because the titles are always so ridiculous of each new BlazBlue update, and it just feels like BlazBlue is coming out on everything, which I think is smart, because I think Arc is kind of in this position where they have these games that are really beloved by a core audience, and they're fantastic. Like, I think if just they can get more people to play these games, that's the best thing they can do, because I think so much of what Arc does speaks for itself, and so releasing it on everything and doing these updates makes so much sense. Yeah,
good point. Speaking of the crazy titles and stuff, I think the Arc should get together with Square Enix.
Oh,
and they should come up with some really good titles there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'd like to see what they could come up with, some creative titles. Another game that's coming back from the past to see a new release and is a collection.
Okay.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy,
Nice.
which there was a trilogy collection already released a few years ago on various platforms. I think it started with a mobile.
Yeah,
and then it came to 3DS.
Is this coming to Switch?
So this is coming to all the new platforms, including Switch, but this is a HD version.
Dude!
So it's like got updated visuals, essentially. Like it's been like drawn differently. Coming out on February 21st, and it's in multi-platform. It's the original 3 games.
Dude.
I think the only hesitation I have, Damiani, is like, are they using? Is it going to feel like a mobile game on a big screen at all, or like will the new look be okay? I guess I'm just unfamiliar.
It's
are they porting
so
the
it looks
mobile
like
version?
so here
Is
you
that-
go.
Yeah.
I would say
Okay.
I think it's going that because it's not sprite art. It's that like that smooth out like redrawn effect that you saw with like Final Fantasy VI on Steam.
Everything you're saying gives
But-
me nothing but fear.
But the thing is, it didn't look as bad for that. For Phoenix Wright, it looked fine.
Okay.
It's definitely different looking, but I think it was more offensive to my taste when Final Fantasy VI did it.
Yeah.
Because like that sprite art was very unique, and it lost a lot of its personality.
Offensive to
that
your
should be a segment on the
taste.
show. Hi, this is what is offensive to my taste this week.
Of the original 3, I only played Trials and Tribulations, the last one, with Godot, the guy with like the Geordie LaForge visor, cool backstory and stuff. I really like that. This is a series that I feel I need to play more
Yes,
entries
I'm
in,
ready.
just like the handheld
I feel that way
Mario
about
RPG
Layton
stuff.
as well. Yeah.
I got super into Layton, so I missed.
Same. I
So
played
I
a lot of
missed
the
Phoenix.
Layton
The
games.
mashup that they did,
I know.
reviewed that. That was
I
pretty
never
cool.
played that either,
Yeah.
and I was like so stoked for that. So I feel like this might finally be the opportunity. Is like, hey, go play the original 2, and like at least say you played the trilogy.
Yeah.
And then I need to find a way because there's 6 entries in the mainline series.
There's so
And
many.
there's all the spin-offs.
There's so many
I don't
Laytons.
remember what they're called, but the one set in feudal Japan, I believe.
Oh gosh,
looked,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
Those look so interesting, but we never
Yeah.
got them.
Good
too
stuff.
Much like Ishin.
Dude, Ishin's coming.
We still believe. Okay.
Yeah. It's not over.
So that is that's in February. Unfortunately, right now there's nothing really in March. I feel like this is why we really need a direct or something, because like March is devoid of any major Nintendo releases for Nintendo. It's not until April, end of April, that we have our next big release on April 23rd, multi-platform, Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh yeah,
Is
that's
launching
right.
on
It's
Yes,
coming-
it's launching. It's multi-platform. You wouldn't think of this as a Nintendo game. It's
That's
not.
amazing.
I just want to point out that like this is a big deal because
Yeah.
it's like I believe this is the first mainline entry
Dude.
from a major third-party fighting game that's getting a same-day release on Switch.
I hope there's an SNES nod with like gray blood.
Oh
Like
yeah,
sweat.
that'd be great. Yeah.
Please, Ed Boon. That'd be so funny.
This is so indicative, I feel like, of the influence and the success of the Switch. Yeah. Like, try as hard as you can to get that day and date. People want it.
That's really
That is
really
awesome.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, Huber.
Not going to be playing that version.
No.
Yeah.
But the fact that it exists and people can choose that version if they need to or want to
Right.
is amazing.
That's all I
Exactly.
wanted to say.
More
I wanted to
options
see
is
your
good.
excitement level for this,
Yeah.
Huber. Just
Mortal
and
Kombat?
and yeah, and just Mortal Kombat 11, and then seeing.
I'm
'cause
ready.
You're always like, where like the Switch games and like
Yeah.
and the ports or and the third party stuff, and it's like, here you go.
Yeah,
here's
dude,
one
day
of the,
one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I was hoping, I know it's too late now with Resident Evil 2, but the Resident Evil 7 cloud version doing that whole thing, I wish they'd found a way to maybe get 2 or...
You know what?
Didn't Injustice 1 come out on Wii U, I think? How did that go?
Injustice on Wii U.
I think that happened.
But you missed
I
me.
can double
Probably
check,
did not
yeah.
go well
Yeah.
there. If it did,
That was over my
that
head.
One, yeah, I'm
I played
forgetting.
in Justice
I'm just
1
curious.
really
I didn't
late.
play it, but I'm
Yeah,
curious
I'm
how that version
blanking on
went.
that. But I mean, I thought maybe Justice, one of them coming to Switch or something would be some.
It did.
Jeez,
Cool.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Justice.
Probably for good reason.
Justice 1's cool.
Next multi-platform release, but it's also gonna be on Switch coming in April. I feel like I've been waiting for this forever. Super Meat Boy forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, finally coming out in April. This is the follow-up. It originally was supposed to be like a mobile version of just Super Meat Boy, and it evolved into this full-blown sequel.
God.
And
I didn't know this.
I like Super Meat Boy. I love that game. I think it is probably one of the best platformers ever. I think I would go to the mat and argue it has the best 2D platforming controls of any game ever.
Damiani, I would totally hear that argument.
Yeah, I would hear it.
Like
I'm with you.
The thing that
there's-
crushes me is, let's say you get the Switch version of Super Meat Boy, the music's different. It's not the original music.
So, yeah.
And it's not as good as that original. That original music is such a clutch part of the experience.
Yeah, it's unfortunate about that falling out there. That's why it had to happen. But for forever, new game, new soundtrack. So we'll see what they can do with that. But I mean, despite hearing about this like years ago, and like every time it gets brought up in a direct or something, it's like, hey, when's it finally coming out? Finally coming out. Now it's happening. I still think it's gonna be like worth the wait. Like I'm really excited about this.
This is just my personal issue. I have a thing with Nintendo where they have so many like old games coming to Switch or you know remasters or ports.
Yeah.
So I was under the impression that this was just the original, but now on Switch. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I didn't know that this was a full-blown sequel.
Okay.
That's a really interesting point, Hubert, because it's been so long since Super Meat Boy's original release, and they keep re-releasing it.
Yeah. So I had no clue.
Yeah, I
That's
can
crazy.
totally see how you would fall into that trap with Super Meat Boy forever.
Yeah.
And
Understandable.
how much this has shifted over time, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, Hubert. Don't feel too bad about that. I understand that.
Gotta get that marketing budget up. Must be nice.
That's why people slap twos on things. Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
Any game. They brought over some new developers apparently. Like someone like who did art for Undertale is working on it as well.
Nice.
I guess I saw some bigger names are working
Question
on
is,
it
why
too.
is marketing so expensive?
Because
Because it works.
Because the ones with the
people
Cadillacs
think it
run
works.
things.
Yeah, it's like the salespeople,
Yeah.
like all the money. This next one coming out on May 10th. It's not a video game.
Avengers
Detective
is really close
Pikachu.
to that. May 4th.
Detective Pikachu. Live action Pokemon film adaptation. You can't talk about 2019 without talking
Are they
about
both
this.
on the same? Does the movie come out then too?
No, this is
No,
he's talking about the
game's-
movie.
Yeah, the game's already out.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Pikachu's already been out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's already out. But the film's coming out.
Got it.
We've seen the trailer and everything like that. Just it's gonna be a big event, big May event for Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Damiani, I honestly can't wait.
Like
Easy Allies.
I think this is gonna be a big deal.
The trailer made me legitimately excited and hopeful, but even if it's awful, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like it's
Yeah.
just gonna be a fun ride.
We gotta go-
regardless.
we gotta go
Ryan
Kingsglaive.
Reynolds is Pikachu.
Yes.
Can we please do a Kingsglaive style?
Yes,
I
sesh?
really
we
want
all
that.
need to buy tickets to
really
go
want
see it
that,
together.
yes.
I feel like it's gonna be a great thing just to talk about after
Yeah.
you watch it.
I want to watch Detective Pikachu, and then immediately after, with no break in between, I want to watch Jupiter Ascending for the first time with all of you.
Ride the wave. Ride the wave into
That's
it.
so weird.
Yo.
Detective Pikachu. And then Jupiter Ascending.
I feel like there's a connection.
Yeah, is there a Ryan Reynolds cameo in Jupiter Ascending?
Just be the same vibe.
Sean Bean though
Sean. Oh yeah, there you go. Sean
shows
Bean.
up. Jupiter Ascending.
Sean Bean will voice.
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Voices Venusaur in
Dude, he's really cool. He's got like bees, dude. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have told me anything, and it wouldn't have been surprising.
You're now gonna do a whole episode on Jupiter Ascending now.
I'm trying to get a. We talked about it on reaction shots. We
Oh,
want to
yeah?
get a IMAX Easy Allies meetup for Godzilla.
Oh, that'd be
Ooh,
sweet.
King of Monsters.
Yeah.
Baby. Yeah.
IMAX.
I'm down for that.
So the Easy Allies can just like hijack an IMAX We get like 40
That's what we
of
named
us.
the event.
Yeah.
Hijack and IMAX.
Yeah, I want on the when you enter the theater with the little like name tag thing where it
Yeah.
has the scrolling letters.
Easy Allies
There's
presents.
Easy Allies. Yeah, I want Easy Allies to show up on that. Also coming out in May, this one multi-platform release, Team Sonic Racing. We actually all saw this together at E3. We were in the same room and saw this.
And Blood was there too.
And Bloodworth was there too. I'm not sure if any of us have like played it or seen it in events since then.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Just that one time.
I will say that I was a little underwhelmed with what I saw initially.
No
and
disrespect
didn't
to
get me
Sonic. We live in a post MCU world. We want the crossovers.
I feel like I'm the most like intrigued in it by the people who saw it. I could see why you would walk away from that saying it is underwhelming, but I want to give it a shot.
Definitely.
I really do.
They've been working on it, definitely. I mean, Huber's joke about MCU stuff. I mean, but in seriousness, after seeing what Sega did with All Stars Racing and Transformed, it's hard for me to see why they want to go back to the Sonic only.
It feels like a step backwards.
Like a Sega Racer seemed like such a strong point.
Yeah.
It was well received.
Like it gives something that Mario can't or Mario Kart doesn't, you know?
Yeah,
you have this collaboration, all these Sega characters, like
I get
it's just
it.
such a golden opportunity.
Sonic is still a valuable brand and still
sure.
recognizable, but drawing the strength of all of Sega stuff, I think has even broader reach.
Like
I think it has more reach than some of like the B and C tier Sonic friends that are being thrown into Team Sonic
Get
Racing.
Rocket Knight in there, dude. Get Axel, Blaze.
Axel would be really cool.
Like so many characters you could get.
Any Streets of Rage character would be really cool. I do think with the Mario Kart DLC with Isabelle and Link, I wouldn't be shocked if Mario Kart 9 had all the Nintendo characters out the gate, and that was kind of their hook for the new Mario Kart. Because they're going to have more DLC, I imagine, than they did for Mario Kart 8 because it was so successful. So
I think you're onto something, Ben.
Smash style.
I think
Smash style. Why not?
Nintendo Kart.
Nintendo Kart.
Because people are asking, where does Mario Kart go after 8?
Yeah.
Snake driving a Metal Gear. Yes.
Snake driving.
Yes.
He's just like driving Rex, and he just stomps on the other cars. He cannot pick up any items, but he has the items of the abilities of Metal Gear.
The trailer starts off with Snake in a normal Mario Kart, which is exciting enough. But the way they unveil Rex is going to be playable is it's liquid in it, and he goes, "Brother!" and then it ends or whatever. You see like the Metal Gear chasing him.
After Smash Ultimate, anything is possible.
Like this, like everything Nintendo crossover themed. But we're not done with the kart racers yet, because coming out on June 21st, Crash Team Racing Nitro fueled.
That's a feel good one.
Multi-platform.
Yeah.
I think this is a special story here, because bringing back an old kart racer. This was part of a trio of late 90s kart racers that came out. I think each one had its dedicated fan base that still champions it as this was the best of the kart racers at that time. Those would be Mario Kart 64, obviously Crash Team Racing, and in Diddy Kong Racing was the third one.
I actually played some Diddy Kong Racing over Christmas break.
Nice.
And it was really fun.
I have such a big soft spot for that game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you can do like the boats and the flying.
Dude,
like,
unlocking the clock. My brother did that, dude. He had like 100% the entire game. One of his best achievements.
I always loved Diddy Kong Racing and later Crash Team Racing, because the environments they had. Mario Kart 64 is just go pick your cup and then go compete in the races, and that's it. Whereas, at least when I played Diddy Kong Racing, you have like the hub environment to explore, which Crash Team Racing also has that, and then the boss races. Like going against like Whiz Pig. The Whiz Pig one was just like, this is really happening. Like, this is a boss battle in a kart racing game. This is a thing.
Also, just powering up your items is kind of an interesting decision during the race. Like, hey, do I want to make this thing more powerful, or do I want to go over and get something else completely and lose what I have? I don't know. Yeah, I would like to see another Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be cool.
definitely love to see that. Love that.
Please.
Going over the speed boost, where the trick was let go of the gas and make it last longer, because if you held down the gas, it would cancel. I was like, yo.
Mechanics.
Some strategical mechanics here, using some skills. Like Crash Team Racing, though, I didn't get into that until I played it for an episode of Pop Fiction, and I was like very impressed with it because it reminded me so much of Diddy Kong Racing. And then the interview I got to do with Naughty Dog's Evan Wells about it, sharing the anecdotes that actually they tried to recreate Diddy Kong Racing levels in their engine as like a proof of concept.
Oh wow!
And then they were using like cheat devices to add memory to the RAM limit of the original PlayStation to test out their stuff and everything. And the whole thing was about like the boss character, Nitrous Oxide, who actually will be included in this version, the new version. Pre-order bonus in the special version, you unlocked immediately. Or they said you can unlock them in the game through normal means, which that hasn't been revealed yet.
I see.
I'm a little bummed out that they made it a pre-order kind of incentive. That sucks. Should have just let it be in there and let people find out and be like, go nuts. Right. But I'm definitely going to pick. I'm going to get that one for Switch. Crash Team Racing, I'm going to pick that one up on Switch.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I can see some like downtime at the studio.
Feel good
busting out
purchase.
some Crash Team Racing.
So,
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it's a good contender for a group stream
Belly
when it comes
rubbing
out.
right there.
We got some games that are coming out in 2019, but they don't have confirmed release dates. Just that they're coming out in 2019 at some point. This first one is coming out. Supposed to be coming out before the end of the first quarter. It's not coming out on Switch. It's not coming out on 3DS. Mario Kart Tour
Right.
for mobile phones. Huber's reaction.
Gosh.
Whoa, Huber.
It could be cool.
The gosh.
Sure, yeah.
It
yeah.
could be cool.
Yeah, we have not
I'm cool
seen
with it.
We've seen nothing about this, Huber.
For sure.
Absolutely seen nothing of this game. It's supposed to be coming out by March 31st.
You would just think like every single time a mobile game for a franchise gets announced, it just happened with Alien. The entire collective internet just
Yeah.
like it can be great.
You know what they should
But
do?
do we really care? Like if it's great, do we even really care?
I mean, if it
A
is
mobile
great,
game-
I'll play it. I mean, in that sense, there's some level of care there.
Like
I'm not saying it's going to change my life.
like there's just so much we're in 2019 now. There's so much competing for our time.
I feel
I've
like
got way too much to do. Like I'm just not playing any game on mobile. I don't wish it any ill will. I don't want it to fail. I have nothing against it, but I don't have
No
any
quarrel.
time for no quarrel. But no mobile game it's not for me.
I feel like reading between the lines there, what you're actually saying is, listen, I'll be playing Resident Evil 2 for the 50th time. I don't have time for
Yeah,
this.
I don't have time. Your mobile
there you
games.
go.
What I would do, though, and what I think would work, or at least it would work on me, is if they were like, hey, we're going to have a Nintendo Direct on this Mario Kart Tour, and then at the end there's a stinger for a brand new Mario Kart on Switch, even if we don't get a lot of details, just the fact that a new console Mario Kart is coming, it would make me want to play the mobile game that
Yeah,
much
ride
more.
the hype.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting to think about because I don't personally think we're going to hear about a new console Mario Kart for a while.
Yeah,
Just
I can see that.
Because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still one of the best-selling games on the Switch. Probably will end up between Smash and it will probably end up being the highest-selling game of the lifetime of the system, barring Pokemon being in 2019 being a phenomenon or something. Who knows?
They've never done more than one Mario Kart on a platform, have
No,
they?
they have not.
But I guess Mario Kart 8 doesn't count.
Because that was just let's be honest. No game sold well enough on Wii U, despite Mario Kart 8 being one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling game on the Wii U. And there was like a lot left on the table with that. And now it's obviously pleased Nintendo with how much it's selling and stuff. But I think it is still got like legs to it. As you said, like they've done updates to it. The most recent one was the free update. It wasn't that recent, but they added the Master Cycle from Breath of the Wild and a Breath of the Wild outfit for Link into the game for free. They did the DLC packs for that. I think it's probably done for now. But I still think you will hear nothing about a Mario Kart 9 this year. I think it's too soon. But with this game, Mario Kart Tour, Huber, I think the thing is, I hear what you're saying. I'm curious to see how they're going to make it unique, because I'm not expecting a one-to-one recreation of the Mario Kart experience. Also,
Probably just a few new stages.
I'm curious how they're going to realize it on mobile phone. I'm very interested to see how they're doing that. And I think if they give me something that's unique enough, at least that'll convince me enough to try it.
Yeah, I got Mario on phone, and it was fine.
Yeah.
That's a fine game.
I do feel like,
but
outside of maybe Super Mario itself, from what they've released on phone so far, I think Mario Kart definitely has a wider pull than Fire Emblem. I would argue it even has a wider pull than Animal Crossing. And so I feel like there are just a lot of people that just hearing a Mario Kart on a thing they already have, I think it will do exceptionally well.
oh, it's payday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious how it will be monetized.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a big question.
That's the thing. It's hard not to be wary of a giant company putting a game on a phone for a huge franchise. You know, it's one thing for indie developers and other low budget games to be put on phone, which is awesome. But like when you're a huge mega corporation like Nintendo, it's hard for me not to be like, well, what is the reasoning for this? Is this just for money? This is a low risk, low cost compared to a big AAA budget. High reward, low risk, high reward. Like, I can't help but think of just Nintendo suits being like, all right, what's the next mobile game? Let's just throw it on there.
I think it's a little bit more than that in the sense that the Switch is doing very, very well. And so I think you have a lot of people that have probably heard about the Switch, but aren't buyers yet. But everybody has a smartphone,
Yeah.
right? And so if you give them a game, even if it is monetized in a weird way, I think just getting them to download it and be more familiar with what's going on with Nintendo right now, or get into a game that maybe they wouldn't otherwise get into, like it's opening a door. In a lot of ways, it's opening up an easy door. They don't have to buy, a several $100 console to check this thing out. And so if they like it, and then they go, oh wait, there's also another Mario Kart on Switch. I had already heard about a Switch. Let me just get that. Like, I think it turns people into console buyers.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it is cool if it is fun, we all get it, and we're all just like, all right, let's race.
Yeah.
Waiting for a table,
Like
at,
you said.
Sujita, just like
Yeah.
Here we go.
Low risk.
Yeah.
I was curious.
Low risk for the consumer too, in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I have a
Okay.
high hopes they'll make it a free to play game. I think they're done with the one price point thing that they did with Super Mario Run.
Yeah,
I think that's done.
I agree.
Next one, Animal Crossing, supposed to be coming out this year. Announced during that big, huge direct back in September of last year. It was announced Nintendo has a trend of doing really exciting announcements and then really low-key kind of bad announcements. This was kind of a low-key bad announcement because it was just Tom Nook at his PC like, hey guys, I'm just, everyone out, a lot of Animal Crossing villagers are out doing other stuff, there's a mobile game, some of them are participating in, Isabel's going and Villager going to Smash Brothers. I want something for them when they come back. So I'm working on a new town, and here it comes. Animal Crossing for Switch coming 2019. Brandon Jones' reaction to that, I think, said it all at the time. The guy is like super stoked for Animal Crossing, and we're just like, really, that's how you're announcing it? I've been waiting for this. Thanks.
Come on, Jones. Come on, it's coming. Let it cook. It's fine. It exists. It's been acknowledged.
It's confirmed.
They spoke to us. They said, hey, Jones, I know you're sick of Yoshi and you've been waiting for Animal Crossing. I am now confirming your desires. Now you just gotta wait.
I feel like I see both sides of this in the sense that, like, yeah, it is just exciting hearing that.
Yeah.
But I think no matter what, there's some part of you that just wants to see it, right? And, like, you almost can't control it, where it's like, I'm so happy it's coming, and that's awesome, but I just need a little bit more. And... depending on how excited you are for something, maybe you always need more. But yeah, like, you just want something to visualize, I think.
Yeah.
That's all.
Paint a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing with Nintendo announcements. They're kind of their MO in recent years has been don't show something until it's pretty much ready to be released. Mm-hmm. You expect a game to be announced, and within a year, it will be out with Nintendo. So the fact that they still kind of do these teases where we don't see anything about the game other than a logo. Sometimes not even a logo, like a real logo for the new game. It's just kind of hard to get too excited about that, I guess, without seeing some of it. And I have to admit, Animal Crossing, along with Kirby, are probably the two biggest Nintendo franchises that I feel I have the hardest time kind of getting into. And with Kirby, it's just I've tried them, and they've never really been something that I've gravitated towards. Animal Crossing, I played first time I played it was on DS. Loved it, but I've had a hard time getting into any of the the subsequent ones.
This is the one, Damiani.
I feel really guilty. I feel like this is a series I just like have neglected too much, and I would like to get back into it, but my brain season is just like it's the same thing.
It's gonna be.
It's hard to convince myself.
It's gonna be more. We're gonna be connected, Damiani.
Oh, yeah?
We're gonna be connected in the Animal Crossing world. You know, because the GameCube one was the GameCube one online when it first came out?
No,
it was
only
not
Animal
exactly.
Crossing
So
DS
you
is
had
the
to
only one.
like leave message
First
like
one, sorry.
Brad. I remember Brad had it, and I had a thing on his machine so we could like do
Yeah,
things.
it was the memory card.
Yeah,
You could
yeah,
go.
yeah.
That's how you did it. Yeah.
So I think with the Switch, with where video games are now online and everything, it's gonna be you're gonna get sucked in, Damiani.
Yeah, I mean, New Leaf, you definitely went online, and I think I didn't play City Folk or Wild World, but I think those had online components as well. And so you have been able to interact with other villagers online before, but I think your point still stands that, like, yes, I think this will be the most connected, the most online featured in an Animal Crossing game. Yeah.
Do you think there'll be like a giant city in this one? Because usually like pretty small.
They've done, so the Wii one was Animal Crossing City Folk.
Okay.
It's hard to say, I think, what they're going to do. New Leaf, it was all about you being the mayor, and then Pocket Camp, you know, kind of more intimate. Yeah, I don't know. Would you want a sprawling city? I kind of like...
Because if it's online, I think of like the context of that. You know, if I want to play Animal Crossing with all 8 of you allies, it'd be weird if it was all in one tiny little space.
I think we should just build a Viking outpost.
Yeah.
Or maybe Ben, you can help me out with this.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm getting this comparison right. Remember when the ill-received SimCity came out? The online component, it was like you can only have like so many people within like a plot of land, whatever it was. That concept I think might actually work for Animal Crossing in terms of like where they could go with online. What if they gave you like this empty land, and they're like if you get up to like 5, 6, 8 friends, however many friends together, you go there, you can each make your villages. You're gonna have 8 unique villages in this land. You get to pick where they're gonna be and stuff. So it becomes like,
and then there's a
you're
city
like
in the middle where
country
you
or
can all
whatever.
meet.
Like something like that, where it's uniquely crafted based on how you build it. It's like small online like hubs essentially. You would have to like, you can go visit other people's hubs, but you only see yours and your friends realized in real time. Like I could just like walk over. If I walk long enough, I leave my village and will arrive in your village. Something like that. So you don't have to like do the whole loading screen. I'm transferring. It's seamless.
Yeah.
Like you can go between all the different villages. Something like that.
Yeah, it's hard because on one level I think that is really cool, and I do enjoy seeing the either extremely like just well-designed ways people build out their spaces in Animal Crossing and how they decorate. I think that's really fun. You can get cool ideas, and people can also just be really funny with it and make very dark things in Animal Crossing, which is also very fun. But at the same time, for me personally, Animal Crossing is very relaxing, and I kind of like not doing a lot of interaction and just being like, this is my space, leave me alone. And so I guess I would just worry that it would feel like too much. It would feel like a responsibility in a way that would kind of detract from the relaxing nature of Animal Crossing.
You could do it like Red Dead. Red Dead Online, your camp, you can like raise the flag or not.
Yeah, and there
You do something like
totally. There are totally ways of
lock your door.
yeah. There you go. Beware of dog.
Do not disturb.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you had like a security force in your town. Like you set it to no visitors, but someone still sneaks in.
You, like,
You're
steal
allowed
stuff.
to, but like then you have your like patrol
hate
people
that.
try and capture you, so you can try and evade them.
Oh my gosh. It's out of control.
Oh my gosh! All right. Yeah, we still need to see what it is.
Yeah.
I don't expect it'll take too much longer to see what's going to be. This next
That's
one,
exciting.
It is.
That's very
exciting time. Animal
Yeah.
Crossing 2019. This next game, which don't know why it's still not out yet, and still doesn't have a firm release date other than spring 2019. Yoshi's Crafted World.
I'm in disbelief that this doesn't have a release date.
Yeah, you could say this title, if you showed off the original trailer back at like the Switch event, and then you came to 2019 and said Yoshi, it's like, oh, it's still coming out, you'd be like, wait, what? It hasn't come out yet?
Yeah.
The game looked like it was done, pretty much. So I just gotta say, please release this so Brandon can rest in peace.
Yeah.
Because every time it shows up in a direct,
it's
just like, there's technically a chance now. It's
It'll
still
be in the next direct.
that it could that Animal Crossing might come out before this. There's still hope. There's still a possibility.
Isn't there a bet there?
What?
Isn't there a bet there somewhere?
I actually don't know. Is
I
there
think
a bet?
that's a bet. Maybe, I don't know.
You could say that was a bet to almost any
Yeah,
game.
it's
It's gotten
believable.
So messy.
This is the game. Someone suggested that Brandon needs to do a full playthrough of this game. It was probably Kyle who said that.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
It just looks like a charming little casual platforming game.
Yeah.
Unique aesthetic. These Yoshi games seem to go for that unique aesthetic. Looks like a diorama kind of like look to it, essentially. Just kind of looks carefree and jolly. Just wondering why it isn't out yet.
Yeah, it's weird.
We'll see. Spring 2019 is supposed to come out. This next one was announced back at E3 2018, I believe. Damon CrossEX Mach.
Yes.
This is a unique looking game. Being developed by Marvelous and published by Marvelous. It's a development team that consists of former people who worked on the Armored Core series. So it's a mech action game. And I think the last time we saw it, we found out that the pilots can come out of their mechs, gather resources and stuff, and then get back into their mechs, and you can commandeer other mechs. And we didn't know about that. But the aesthetic of this game, like the color palette they use, is really out there. It's like really distinct and unique. And it's due out sometime this year. I mean, yeah. Does it look exciting to you? This game?
It does, and this is not really so much the game's problem as it is my problem. But I feel like because we get excited about a lot of games, it is something that we're known for in a sense, and I feel like it's always good to have that thing in your pocket where you're just excited for it on the most surface raw level. I kind of feel that way about Earth Defense Force. Like to get excited about a new Earth Defense Force, I don't need to know every single change or every little detail that it's going to have. I just know I'm going to have a good time blasting insects. And with this game, it's not that there aren't plenty of valid reasons to be excited for it, but it's just a cool looking mech game.
Yeah. When it comes out, sweet.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Do you think this is how do you feel about this statement? Because this is something I feel about this game. If I'm going to play it, I want this game to be no longer than 10 hours. I don't want this to be a very long game. Everything I've seen about it looks very interesting, and I want to try it out. But for whatever reason, like it seems like high intense mech action.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's drawn out too long. I'm going to get burned out. Like I love Metal Gear Solid Revengeance to death. That game was like a 20-hour game. I would have like died of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Damiani. The intensity is a good thing to bring up. But I do feel like the last several years, what I consider a short game has increased as the general length of games has increased. And so, like, honestly, if I get anything below 20 hours, I'm pretty stoked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean, I guess I should rephrasing it. I see this game, I see a 10-hour game. That's not me saying I want it to be that. I think I don't see this game being like an extended game.
I would be very surprised if it was over 15
I'm
hours,
sorry to bring up length. It's just it just popped in my head. Like I don't know why I'm jumping to length when I see a game for the first time. It's usually not what pops in my head is a game's length. It's so random.
I think it's totally valid to jump to length. I think that's like a minor problem for so many games where they're just a little bit too long in a lot of instances. And so
trim the fat.
Yeah.
Need an editor.
I'm expecting
cutting room floor.
I'm expecting crazy looking mech boss designs in this game.
Yes.
I want that. Like I want intense, crazy boss battles with this game.
Definitely.
and I want multiplayer. I want the 4 of us to team up in mechs to have to take on a giant boss, like Monster Hunter mech boss.
I want a Pacific Rim style mech where it takes 2 pilots.
2 switches, they link up, you put them together, and each holds a Joy-Con. Jolly co-op style.
Yes.
It's pretty exciting and interesting that we're getting both Left Alive and Damon. Is it Damon Cross Machina?
Yeah, Damon Cross Machina or Ex Machina. Yeah.
Sure.
Left Alive.
That are brand new in the absence. We haven't had an Armored Core game in forever, or a lot of. We haven't really had too many new mech games, and so
Just
it'll be interesting to see
Mech City Brawl.
which of these two we enjoy more, or if we gravitate toward both, or what's going to happen. But yeah, I feel like we don't know that much about either Left Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
this. Yeah.
Damon
Ruined
Cross Machina,
buildings.
Damon X Machina.
It's been more. Yeah. There's been more Left Alive trailers. I feel like maybe I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but you'll have to see. This next one is supposed to also be coming out pretty soon, but we haven't. Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Yes.
We saw this at E3 last year. They finally unveiled it, showed us what it's gonna look like, showed us some of the mechanics behind it. But we've heard almost nothing since.
Fire Emblem 3.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
3 Houses.
Yes.
Fire Emblem 3 : Houses?
No,
or
Fire Emblem:
3 Houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it its
3 major
own?
houses.
Mainline Fire
Yes,
Emblem entry
yes.
for Switch.
It's
This
its
is
own
the
thing.
proper-
Yes,
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Okay. I thought it was Fire Emblem 3 : Houses.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Hugh.
Okay.
Um,
Good. Now I'm more in.
Yes.
So
Excellent.
my take on this from seeing it at E3 was that visually it looked a little underwhelming to me, but
Yeah.
it still seemed like, hey, they got some time maybe to polish it up. But everything else about it looked very promising to me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was speaking to things I was hoping would be in Fire Emblem. And I'm really excited for a new mainline Fire Emblem game. It's just the fact that we haven't seen anything since, unless I'm just forgetting something, is a bit concerning to me. I think would take it this way. It's probably not hitting its Q1, Q2 targeted release.
Sure.
It's probably
I think that's
getting
fair.
delayed.
Yeah.
September.
I thought we would have had more information by this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Revelations is one of them. Fire Emblem.
Revelation is part of Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Fates is Birthright, Conquest,
Put-
and Revelation.
Put that on Switch.
All right.
Let's go.
The Fire Emblem Collection coming
Yes.
to Switch.
Imagine having a collection of every Fire
Oh
Emblem.
my god, yes. I would,
All the ones that didn't come out over
okay.
here. Yeah.
That would be
It's
pretty
just
awesome.
one of these franchises that is so not alienating is the wrong word, but it's like the barrier to entry seems insurmountable for me looking in, I'm on the outside looking in at Fire Emblem. I know everyone tells me to play the 3DS one, Revelations.
Yeah. Awakening.
Yeah. Awakening, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, just this franchise seems insurmountable for newcomers.
Yeah, well, Awakening is a really good jumping on point. You don't have to deal with if the idea of Fates in 3 different games makes you anxious. Awakening doesn't have that problem. It is a good jumping on point. I know you're not particularly fond of playing on the 3DS, so that's a problem. But I think and hope that 3 Houses you're not going to need to rely on old Fire Emblem information. They've done a pretty good job, I think, of easing people in. They have a bunch of different options that you can choose in terms of difficulty. Cool. So I think
This could be an entry.
I think it's something that maybe because of the titling or the structure or the way that things have come out over here, it seems actually a lot more intimidating than it is.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready. I'm ready to hop
They
in.
also have this free-to-play game on mobile phones.
Yeah.
If you really just want to see the basic concept of Fire Emblem in action. Sorry, Hubert, I know you're...
No, wasn't there a huge bit there with the mobile version? Didn't you not like it or something?
Between Kyle and I, Kyle
Yeah.
hated it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think Fire Emblem Heroes is cool, but
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought Kyle was being a little too hard on it, but that's a subject for another day, or in the past actually. This next one, surprise announcement, just announced today. But we don't know what platform it's coming to because we got no other info other than the confirmation it's in development. Official account for this series tweeted that a new entry is in the works for Bravely Default.
Dude,
New
What?
Bravely Default
Alright.
is in the works.
crazy.
Tweeted out today from the official account.
oh wow.
Just wanted to throw that in there because I was finishing up my notes. Oh look, new Bravely Default confirmed for some time, maybe this year. We'll
On
see.
Switch?
It's no platforms.
Oh, no
mentioned,
platforms.
No
Yeah,
info.
okay.
But I mean, it
Dude.
had been on.
I'm getting like all these a weird mix of emotions because I know that they're different, obviously, but I liked Bravely Default 1 more than Octopath Traveler, even with its all ending nonsense. And I haven't played Bravely 2nd yet. And so now I feel like that's something I need to make time for before this new one comes out. So
Bravely-
that's a little bit
Bravely
stressful, but yeah.
Probably what it'd be called. Yeah, I kind of
Bravely
had a
Default
feeling
one's
you'd
very
be
good.
excited about
Yeah.
it.
That's
awesome. That's a great
in the
announcement.
works. More than likely, it's coming to at least Switch. Yeah.
Because you think about how well that style showed up on 3DS, and then you just pump that up.
Pump it up.
Yeah.
Raise that budget.
They probably will get more money for this one.
Dude.
And this next
Bananas.
one, both of you are going to be excited for. I know Jones is a huge supporter and lover of this game. Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. I picked up Dragon Quest Builders on Switch a little bit, actually, over the break. Not too much, but just enough to remind myself that, hey, this is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, confirmed for the West this year. So it is coming out this year. They just did a recent whole bunch of stuff at Jump Festa. They did Dragon Quest stuff. They had a whole Dragon Quest Builders thing there as well.
Co-op, man.
Co-op.
That's gonna be nice.
Jones is so pumped.
Pretty exciting.
Love that Jones is like a Dragon Quest fan now. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get him on Yakuza, I think. I think we're very close.
We're very close. He will be obsessed.
Yeah.
He will be obsessed.
He will.
This next one, I think I'll finally be able to play this game, even though I own it on GameCube. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered. Coming to the PS4 and Switch. I forget if it's coming to the platform.
You didn't know that?
It was announced last year. It looks very rough, like in terms of like the frame rate. It looks like it's frame rate issues, but who knows if those being ironed out. But confirmed that they're remastering it, coming out. Gonna be able to play it without that stupid elaborate
Oh my
setup
God.
you needed on
Okay.
GameCube.
Four
So-
players though.
Switch, yeah, it's four. Yeah,
Yes.
just 4 players on Switch.
So fun.
Totally doable now.
That and Four Swords, dude. So much
This
fun.
one was like just screaming.
I had so much fun
I
with
feel
both
like
of those games.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is one of the very few times I felt limited by gaming accessories.
Yes.
Like, I played it 2-player, but because that was all we had. We didn't have 2 extra cables and, like, 2 extra Game Boys to go around.
Yeah, you
What
need
a
that-
mess.
You need that 4-player experience for that
Yeah.
one. I'm
Yeah.
finally gonna get to do it.
Yeah, that's
So weird because I played
That's
other
really
entries
hype.
in the series, just not the original. And the original is probably the most I mean, Crystal Bears is pretty unique too, but I mean, this is like a unique experience that
So hype.
I have always missed out on. Now I will be able to finally get to play it and enjoy it with some of you.
Brad will be there, dude.
Oh
We
yeah,
played it.
that's definitely gonna be a group stream. Like that's like made for like a group stream. Luigi's Mansion 3 also coming out this year.
Crazy.
Announced
Nice.
back in that big September 2018 direct. Yeah, just like they started off with it. I think it was like, oh, look, it's a Luigi's Mansion. It's the Luigi's Mansion 3DS re-release trailer. Ooh,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Nope.
wait, it's not. Got you, all of you. And we have our first patron question because I want to ask about Luigi's Mansion 3.
Nice.
From Michelle Jackson. Hello, allies. Will we visit different hotels in Luigi's Mansion 3? And what will the game's final title be? So, like, are we going to go back to, like, Dark Moon, where we went to different locations, which was, like, the staple of that? Or do you think it's going to be set in one big mansion? That's kind of, like, been the question
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of veterans of the series been asking and wondering is which direction it'll go in. One or Dark Moon direction. And what do you think?
It's an interesting question. I wonder if it will kind of feel like both, where it will technically be within one hotel,
Yeah.
but different parts of that hotel will
Totally.
feel so different that it won't really be an issue of it being too repetitive or anything like that. So that's maybe where I would lean.
I would love it if he was just some professional now, like professional ghost hunter, and
Going from place to
different
place. Taking
hotels.
calls.
Call him up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like that, Huber. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's just go crazy. Let's make it
Luigi's Mansion Ghost Service or something.
makes
That's the title.
They make the commercial like Ghostbusters 1.
Yeah.
He's like Luigi makes a little commercial. You know what, let's go all out, Huber. Let's make it Breath of the Wild. It's a giant Breath of the Wild sized mansion. different like locations and stuff. They got like the snow hotel.
Yes.
But
Snow Peak.
any stabs at the title or anything like that? I was like guessing in Nintendo subtitles.
Ghost
Luigi-
Agency.
Luigi's Mansion 3, no vacancies.
No vacancies. There we go. Here.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It's like Luigi with like the coolest looking like shades putting on like this.
Featuring Travis
Checking
Touchdown.
out now. Yeah. I'm kind of excited for that one.
Yes,
Darkmoon
yeah,
was
absolutely.
Darkmoon was so good.
Both of them are so good.
I want it to come out on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
That's my hopes.
All right, Christmas
They
Eve.
will be done.
Christmas Eve, Luigi's Mansion,
Okay.
dude. Let's go.
No time like Christmas Eve for releasing a brand new
Hot
game.
cocoa.
You gotta be waiting in line at that GameStop.
Sorry, family. I've got to go to GameStop to pick up. Can't celebrate the holidays this year with you.
Yeah, I think the only better time than that would be like Black Friday would be like the better release day.
Or Halloween night.
Halloween night. It's a good night though. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order.
What a...
Out of nowhere
Yeah,
at the Game Awards
yeah.
2018. See that Switch logo, then you see Marvel, and you're like, wait, what is going on right now?
That might be the greatest group stream of this year.
It's going to be the best.
Yeah.
Developed by
best.
Team Ninja.
Yeah.
Koei Tecmo behind this.
So
An
hyped.
exclusive for Switch. Exclusive.
Crazy.
That one I couldn't believe.
I can't believe it.
I was like, what's
I
the
still don't believe it.
where's that 1 month window? Just we're like, come on. It's
Did
only
you believe it? Can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
What? 1 year window? What is this? No,
Yeah.
it's just exclusive. Tendo and worked out that deal. I mean, it was previously an Activision franchise, but no longer involved in that. So, whoo, yeah, got all those MCU characters in there that
It's
you
just-
know, but also the X-Men showing
Dude,
up.
X-Men Legends. It's just one of those
X-Men.
things I didn't know I wanted. You know, I've played Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 to death, and Legends 1 and 2 to death so many times, local co-op all the way through.
I think maybe...
Obsession, but it's like I was never thinking like, oh, I need another one of those. I want to go back. And then it was announced, and I was like, yes.
I don't think it was a conscious desire. I believe you there.
Subconsciously.
I think the second you came into this earth, subconsciously you wanted Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yeah.
I think it's also been a while too.
Long time.
I think going on hiatus or being gone for so
2
long.
was like,
yeah.
what?
Feels
2008,
forever ago.
2009, 2010, something like that.
Yeah, a long time ago, at least a decade ago. Been a while.
Unbelievable.
Been a while.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that.
This one I have it borderline because I wasn't sure if it's
Sorry,
29.
just really quick.
Okay,
I
go
really hope they RPG the hell out of that game. Give me so many characters. They no pool XP sharing. Like you have your characters, the ones you're using, you level them up. Different, like, you know, the Danger Room.
Yeah.
I remember they had an X-Men Legends. Like, give me so much RPG numbers, dude. I'm ready.
In terms of like progression, I see you. I would
Yeah.
still want to feel like a somewhat simplistic beat 'em up, though. I think that's
Totally,
part of the
totally,
appeal.
totally.
I wouldn't want the combat to be too complicated.
Totally.
Not what I'm going there for.
Yeah.
You know?
I want team specials, Huber.
Yes.
Based on who you pick and stuff, you unlock. Yeah.
Because
I want
Legends,
that.
you
Yeah,
could like,
yeah,
dude,
there-
Colossus and stuff could throw
Yes, there you go.
Wolverine. Oh
Were
my
there-
god.
Yeah, I want that back.
Team specials in 2?
I feel like there were.
I think there might have been.
Bring
Yeah.
them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring them back, please.
So cool.
It's pretty exciting. It's coming. Expect to see more of that soon. This next one, I wasn't sure if it's going to be 2019 or not, and because it was announced a while ago, I'm going to lean towards it being 2019. So I'm making an exception just for this one. Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, this was coming.
No fear on
no
Bayonetta
fear.
3.
Teaser announcer at the Game Awards 2017.
Yeah.
So a year was actually a little over a year ago.
It's cooking.
But yeah, I haven't seen anything since that teaser. So you
No,
gotta
me-
know they were hard. They've been hard at work on that.
Yeah, they got the 1 and 2 remaster, you know.
Yeah, we saw those
ports on
earlier in
Switch.
2018. So I feel like,
Let everyone get caught up.
yeah, I think they did that very consciously to get
Using the
everyone
Huber
prepped.
method.
Yep. Get those remasters and then a new one. Tired and true.
Hey, did you patent that yet, Huber? Did you get those checks yet?
Dude,
No.
Onimusha 5's coming.
I just want 2 through 4 on Switch.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
want.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. The last one rounding out our 2019 is Pokemon 2019. announced in the worst fashion back all the way at E3 2017, literally just in an office talking about some other Pokemon stuff, and then at the end, oh yeah, one last announcement. Game Freak is hard at work on the next core Pokemon title for the Switch. It might be at least a year or more before you see it, but they're working on it. And
Cool.
then
Confirmation.
it was later confirmed early last year, it was confirmed that one would be a Gen 8 title. So it'd be the new generation of Pokemon. So it's not Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Some people think that's what it ended up being, but it's not. So much speculation surrounding this game. Because we just saw the fusion of traditional Pokemon and Pokemon Go with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and now there's been so many rumors about Pokemon 2019.
People are losing their minds.
It's just like it's literally just to be the same thing. There's a little bit better graphics too. It's gonna be the Breath of the Wild of the series. It's like, okay, where are we going with this game? So who knows where we're going with the Breath of the Wild?
It's like the world is over, dude. You have to like gather the Pokemon.
Like Pikachu died in a reanimation thing, and it's like 100 years later. Pikachu, we need you to save everything.
Calamity Oak.
The Calamity Oak.
I mean, it's like a pressure cooker, right? Like, people have been wanting a new generation of Pokemon on a console since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And you give that to them in a way that is almost nothing. You just say that it's coming. People are losing their minds.
Yeah.
People will die
True.
in the process of this game coming out.
It's the power of Pokemon.
Like, that felt like a troll. Like, oh, yeah, we're working on it. It was like,
Working on it. Got a general logo.
We know you want it.
I want it to be the best looking Switch game ever.
That's not happening.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
think
correct.
the best you're gonna get, Huber, is that other Game Freak announced they're working on called Town, which I didn't bring up, which is also
Town
supposed to be
hype,
2019.
dude.
The
yes.
visuals in that are a step up from what you even what you saw in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. I think you can expect that level of visual fidelity, and that's about it.
How much is your hype for Town based on the name?
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Max.
It's a town builder.
Yeah. Town builder. Let's
The
go.
trailer's just like words Huber loves. Town. Economy. Like, we got two patron questions about Pokemon.
Cool.
First one from Kelvin. As a casual Gen 1 Pokemon player only, how can the new Pokemon on Switch appeal to players like me? Truthfully, I am intimidated by the sheer number of new Pokemon. Also, as this looks to be the marquee title for Switch this year, how will it affect Switch and Nintendo's year in general?
I have a really silly question because I'm not a Pokemon expert.
Yeah.
So, Charizard and them, that's like Gen 1.
Yes.
Charizard Gen 1.
Have those Pokemon ever existed in another,
Oh, yes.
like Sun and Moon?
Yeah.
There's
Yes,
like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
but are they new versions of them, or is it like basic Charizard in Gen 7 or something?
Most part it was general, but like Sun and Moon introduced Alolan versions of stuff.
Yeah, so
which-
it introduced some Gen
Got
1
it.
Pokemon as different versions of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it's the same. They might do things with them like Mega Evolutions in Gen
Mega
6.
Evolutions.
I bring it up because I feel like that's the way to invite everyone in and kind of make it easygoing, is really lean in on the starter Pokemon.
That's what Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was
Yeah,
all about.
That's what I would say.
But it also
Yeah.
drew some criticism for people like, stop leaning so heavily on Gen 1. We want new Pokemon, and there's some...
Like somehow, because now there's so many gens and there's like 3 starters per, that's kind of a lot, but like somehow have like a starter from each of the gens or something, and that's kind of your...
It is
foundation
a
or
slightly
something.
difficult situation for them, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much it may annoy people, I do feel like for a large number of folks, Gen 1 is Pokemon to some degree. It's not that they won't accept anything else, it's just that level of familiarity that they have that's built up over time really gets them excited. And that's why I think the Alolan versions were so exciting. And
Old and new.
Yeah, it was old and new, and so that worked really well. I
Yeah.
mean, Sun and Moon sold like crazy. It was also right around the Pokemon Go time, so you had that. And Pokemon Let's Go did really, really well. And so, I don't know. I think a lot of people at this point, because Gen 1 has been so leaned on in so many ways, I wonder if Game Freak will go that direction with Gen 8. I don't think that they need to. I think Let's Go and it being on Switch are enough. I think the thing that you need to keep in mind is, and I don't say this like in a condescending way, it's like I really don't think Pokemon games are that hard to get into. I mean, they are notoriously slow moving, introduce things at a pretty slow rate. They want to ease you into
Simple mechanics.
Yeah. I can understand being like, oh man, I haven't played since Gen 1. I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah.
It's not like it bombards you with it.
Totally.
I do think they're really easy to get into if you just give them a chance.
Yeah, I'd probably have, my gut would say that they're going to probably...
All new Pokemon?
No, they're going to probably have Gen 1 integration in this new one as well.
You think so?
I think that there's definitely going to be a way. You're going to have to be able to... I don't think that it's going to be the main focus, but they're definitely going to allow you to bring in Pokemon Go characters.
What if you could just bring
there's definitely going to be Pokemon Go connectivity between this. There's no way there's not going to be that connection there. And they're probably going to be able to let you bring Pokemon... The way you bring Gen 1 Pokemon in is through Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I bet. They're going to have like some way to bring in the Pokemon through that or through Pokemon Go. I mean, we already have the debate about, was it Melton and its evolution or whatever.
Yeah.
People still can't decide if it's Gen 7 or Gen 8. Is it the first Gen 8 Pokemon or is it still part of the Gen 7? So there's some confusion there. But I think what I would like to see is going almost to the extent of Black and White, having arguably the heaviest focus on new original Pokemon would probably be like a good thing, but like keep
Wipe
it a small
the slate
pool.
clean.
Like keep it to like maybe 100. You don't need to go insane. You don't need to have like hundreds or more. Like I'd even say like less than 100 could be like doable as well.
Can we just
as long as they're
also
well designed?
Can we also call it Pokemon?
I mean,
Just call it
You just want
Pokemon.
to call it Pokemon?
oh reboot? No way.
I mean,
No
way.
chance. No chance.
This is gonna be two
there's
versions.
going to be two versions, right?
They have to be Pokemon something.
There's no way that they're getting away from
Okay,
that.
I got you, Huber. This is what they're gonna do. I got your back here, Huber. So one's gonna be Pokemon with the E with the accent this way, and the other one will be at the accent this way. So just the E, the little accent above it's just tilted a different way. There you go. Got one more question about Pokemon from Gustav. Hello, allies. We will very likely get to see the new full-blown Pokemon games this year. But do you think they will incorporate anything from Pokemon Go and the Pokemon Let's Go games that aren't already in other mainline Pokemon games? I'm talking about everything from a game mechanic design, like throwing a ball with a Joy-Con, and in parentheses they're like, please don't do that, to an integration between the games so you could import Pokemon from Go. Love and respect. I kind of already said a little bit of my piece on that, but what do you think, if anything, they're going to borrow from those two games?
I'm definitely not convinced that they're going to let you bring Pokemon in from Pokemon Go. I do think that they may allow you to use a Joy-Con to throw a Pokeball, but it won't be like Pokemon Go. It won't necessarily be like you have to get in a ring. It'll just be a motion that you can do. I could maybe see that.
What if there's like on the go functionality? You take your Switch somewhere and you get something.
Maybe. I think that is a really good idea. This isn't necessarily from Pokemon Go. I mean, I guess it kind of is because as you're walking around, you see them. I don't think it'll be random encounters anymore. I do think you'll be able to see the Pokemon out in the world.
I don't think that's going away. I think that's
I
here
think that
to
will
stay,
be a big new addition for Gen 8.
You know what I could see them doing, actually, from a gimmick from Pokemon Let's Go, is the Super Pokeball controller.
Sure.
Letting you put a Pokemon from 2019 into that and take it on exactly how it works in Let's Go. You could use it in that. So that
I agree with you.
something as simple as that they could definitely do. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm not 100% convinced about the Pokemon Let's Go, the Gen 1 Pokemon coming into the new one, like the connectivity. Yeah. But Pokemon Go to me,
What if you could take just one?
I don't think they'll do that.
You could import one Pokemon,
Permanent decision.
and it's like your sidekick.
It's like the ultimate decision right there.
I do think just because of how well received it is, they will allow you to let Pokemon follow you and like ride a bunch of different Pokemon. I do think that is a chance that it could happen.
Yeah, that's
People love that,
Yeah,
and
that's
understandably
simple,
so. I mean,
yeah.
when you see yourself on Snorlax's stomach, it's just too good. Yeah. And so a bunch of new Pokemon, I think part of the fun would be seeing like how am I going to interact with this out in the world as I'm exploring.
Yeah, I guess they have to make a if they're going to be any connectivity in terms of transfer program, they have to update the World Bank, which was not up. Let's Go PG and Eevee only has online trading with friends with the code. There's no World Bank support for that. So, or Pokemon Bank, support for that. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's move on to our final part of this. Some prediction stuff for 2019. We got some patron question here to ask us, like, what do we expect and what do we think we're going to see in 2019? They all pretty much cover any of the games I was going to bring up naturally. And I'm going to start with these first two ask about the same thing. And they were some of the first two questions I got. From Daniel says, do you guys think we can expect to see Shin Megami Tensei 5 this year?
Yes.
And Ben, will SMT 5 be shown at all this year? Do you expect anything different from it or just more of the same SMT formula? So we have some patrons who really want to know about Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how you interpret more of the same. I do think, like, some core Shin Megami Tensei stuff will be in there. I think you'll be able to choose different routes that you want to go, how you align yourself. But in terms of setting, I think that was part of the fun of Shin Megami Tensei 4 is how it started out in kind of a more primitive society. I do think maybe they could have another surprise like that, where it could be just a different setting, or maybe they do the classic, you are in a destroyed metropolitan area. I don't know. But yeah, just with Shin Megami Tensei 4 and with Apocalypse, the way that they handled that, I do expect thematically, setting-wise, some things to be different. But in terms of gameplay, that's hard to say. I feel like the press turn system is pretty beloved for a good reason, and so I don't know if they would go too far away from that or just change what they've done in 4 a little bit. I guess that's not really much of an answer. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the last thing I want to say is I feel like they don't have to worry about accessibility as much with Shin Megami Tensei, where it's like, if you are kind of interested in some of the ideas that we have, Persona is just easier to get into. And if you want to go from there, you can do Shin Megami Tensei. And I think it being more hardcore out of the gate is really appealing to a lot of people. And they already have a good stepping stone in other ways with Persona. And so I don't think it will necessarily be a lot more accessible. I still think it'll be as complex as something like a Shin Megami Tensei 4. Yeah, I guess ultimately I feel like Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Shin Megami Tensei in general, I don't expect it to be like crazy wild different. At best, you're just going to get like some thematic differences, some setting differences, but I think there will still be a lot of Shin Megami Tensei that you know and love.
Really good answer.
Yeah, we went all over the place. So
I really hope we
get
get to see it. You
Yeah.
know, that'd be
I think
nice
we
to-
will.
Yeah.
I feel like I say that too confidently,
will.
but yeah, I do. I think we'll see more of it. for sure this
2019,
year.
dude. Let's go.
Make it happen. Nick has our next question for us. Hi, allies. Of all the games that may be released this year, the one that has me on tenterhooks is the unannounced game from Retro. I am hoping that this will be revealed in the, I'm going to put supposed January Direct, though fear it may be too soon. Do you think this game will be released this year? And if so, when will it be revealed? And I want to say caveat, we had several people write in about a Retro and or the Star Fox Racing rumor. Like, where is that? So I just want to bring up the Star Fox Racing rumor because that's what people thought they're working on, and we never happened so far. Say, what do you think about like Retro? You know, do you think we're going to hear about their supposed project they're working on, and do you think it's going to be that Star Fox game or something else?
I expect to hear something this year. 2019. Too many rumblings, going on for too long. The silence needs to be broken. I expect to hear something. I want to believe it's the Star Fox Racing game.
That was such a I want it to be that
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
so unique. It
Yeah.
sounded so batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to happen. Mm-hmm. And I have to interrupt us because Nintendo of America has now tweeted out the release date for Yoshi's Crafted World. So mark it down.
Out of all
everyone.
the things. it was that
Sorry,
thing.
breaking news.
Yeah.
Nintendo America said Yoshi is back. Set off together when Yoshi's Crafted World launches exclusively for Nintendo Switch on March 29th.
Boom.
So we got a March release. I was saying there are no big releases for March. There you go. Sorry, back to Star Fox and Retro. What about you, Ben? Do you think we'll hear about Retro's project this year?
Yeah, dude.
Any ideas?
There was when that rumor happened, I was very confident that we were going to see it soon.
Yeah.
But I just get the sense that maybe not all is well at Retro, or like things aren't quite going to plan. It just doesn't. I'm not necessarily convinced that they have something that they're gonna blow us out with. Like maybe they are working on something, but it's hard to tell the state that Retro is in, I think, is ultimately what I'm saying. And so if you were to sit down and tell me, and you said, hey, I'm an informed source, Retro is going to be featured in the next Direct, I would totally believe you. Or if you would say you're not going to hear anything from Retro in 2019, I would also believe you. They're really hard to pin down, and because there aren't any other projects that they're working on or that we know about, it's just nothing. It's hard to have a lot of confidence.
I think a year is really long, dude. I fully expect something. But at the same time, Ben brings up a great point where if nothing was said, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a little weird to be okay to say, like, yeah, if they don't say anything, that's expected, because it's just how long it's been since their last game. It's just that I get what you're saying, man. It's like, really, like, what's going on if they have nothing to show? It's like each year, like, this is the year we're finally going to hear about Retro's new title, and it's like, wait, where is it? I think if you don't hear anything from this year, it is time to really start getting concerned about what's going over there. I would give it that. And I'm like, at this point, I'm 30-70. 30 for it's real, 70 it's not real for Star Fox Racing.
Sure.
I just want to throw that out there.
I think that's a reasonable divide.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I have like no idea what they're working on. So.
I want to believe.
B Singer, B abbreviated, but it's not Brian. B Singer is there. There are certainly unknown software announcements for 2019, but what about hardware? Do you think we'll see any of the rumored Switch hardware revisions in 2019? If so, will it mostly be improved internal components, or could we see a complete revision of the system? And remember, last year there was the Wall Street Journal Japan published with a rumor that they were saying was truth, that there would be a Switch revision coming in the second half of this year.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think you can follow Nintendo for any amount of time and not expect revisions.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't do that with consoles in quite the same way, but considering that this is a hybrid and that revisions worked so well for them, like I think they have to, right?
Yeah. Just even like more battery, brighter screen, like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
Some quality of life improvements.
Some kind of built-in Ethernet port.
I don't
somehow.
think that's happening either.
What I would like to see is, I think Joy-Cons are serviceable. I do. I think they're fine, but I think they could be better. I think you could give me a better sticks, and yeah, just making it, if you are using one, it doesn't feel quite as cramped.
Yeah.
I think when I think about like obvious revisions, I immediately go to the Joy-Cons, and so that's what I would like to see.
That's a good point.
I also expect to see a ton of new Labo.
Really?
2019 Labo blowout.
I do not.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think I agree with that, Huber.
More Labo.
Bold prediction.
It's coming.
I think the most we'll see is form factor alteration, stuff like that. I don't think we're seeing like a major revision this year. Kerbu, what does Nintendo have in store for Mario on Switch in 2019? Is it finally time for Mario Maker 2? Maybe Mario Golf? Or is it too soon for an Odyssey 2, judging by the 3-year gap between the original Galaxy and Galaxy 2? Are any smaller Mario games possible? So what do you expect from Mario this year?
With the re-release of the new Super Mario Bros., I could see a new one of those coming out. A new Super Mario Bros.
Oh, it's like a brand new Super Mario Brothers entry.
Yes.
I could see a new one of those. 3D? They've all been 2D. Do you think they ever try and do a 3D one?
Maybe a hybrid. Okay. Mostly 2D, but you'll come into sections and it'll like all of a sudden go 3D or something, and then back, like short little things.
Yeah.
I expect one of those. Mario Golf rings with me. I could see Mario Golf coming back.
Mario Strikers?
I'd say Golf would come back before.
Golf first. What about you, Ben?
I don't think a Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2 situation is all that impossible for Odyssey. I think it is weird that we have not gotten we've gotten almost no updates, no huge substantial updates to Mario Odyssey. I wouldn't be shocked if it was like, yeah, it's kind of the same thing as Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, where it is essentially more of the same, but considering how well received Odyssey was, I can imagine that would go over really, really well.
Ben, I think the fact that we saw no world DLC is a strong indicator that they're just saving it all for a Odyssey 2.
Yes.
I would not be shocked to see an Odyssey 2 announced this year with either a possible this year release or next year release.
That would slot really well into the holiday 2019.
Definitely get those strong vibes.
Dude.
Obviously Mario Maker. I think other than that, Mario Maker is the most obvious thing.
No announcement of Mario Maker on Switch is upsetting.
It is upsetting.
It needs to happen.
I wonder if they're increasing the scale of it. I have to believe they're doing a lot more than just a simple port. They want to go all out with it.
I mean, it'd be great, of course, if we got more. I'd be happy with a simple port. I just want Mario Maker on Switch.
Yeah, I would definitely take that. Jimmy says, I just want to hear some speculation about Metroid Prime 4. Will it have a subtitle at all? When do you think it will release? And when do you think we're going to see that trailer? Love and respect. I feel
E3, we're going to see it.
E3?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a trailer, or do you think it'll actually be playable at that point?
Ooh.
I think it'll be playable at E3.
Okay.
At E3, I'll go with it. Playable. Maybe not coming out this year, though. It'll be like a 2020 show
I
at
could
E3.
see either way in terms of the year it comes out. But
It just seems a little far off, but I feel like an E3 Metroid Prime blowout is just waiting to happen.
I'm getting bored with that.
Yeah, I do feel like it'll have a subtitle because I feel like the subtitles... Metroid has been very subtitle heavy.
Yeah.
And I also feel like when you think about Prime specifically, it has kind of clued you into the hook of those games.
Exactly.
And so I don't see any reason why. There will be some new hook in Metroid Prime 4.
Whatever that mechanic
I would imagine
is.
that the subtitle would probably clue you into whatever that is.
Metroid Prime 4, insert mechanic.
Yeah.
So formula.
Metroid Prime 4, wing stick.
Wing stick.
Almost stand here. Samuel, hi allies. Do you think Monolith Soft's new ARPG will be revealed this year? And to clarify, there's two teams at Monolith Soft working on project right now. The Xenoblade team, which is moving on to another project right now, and the second team is working on the concept art for it. People were comparing it to Dark Souls or something. It was people in the full metal suits of armor in these ruined environments, stuff like that. What are your hopes and dreams for this game? Love and respect, Sam.
Monolith Soft just feels like they've been hustling. So kind of the opposite of a retro response from me, where it's oh man, they've been, fairly prolific for the types of games that they're making and the timeline in which they release them in. And so, yeah, I would feel optimistic that we would see new stuff from them. And, over the years, I've just had enough of an attachment to Monolith Soft, especially through Xenoblade Chronicles, where I on anything. I'm not really too picky.
I'm really excited to see them take a crack at a different type of setting in a theme, essentially. They've done exceptional work on Xenoblade Chronicles, and from what I played of X, despite it not being my cup of tea, it still was, I can tell the effort behind it. Seeing them do a more fantasy medieval style game would be very intriguing to me.
Yeah,
I'd love to see. I would love to see what they can do with other concepts and stuff like that.
It makes me yearn for the fantasy project, the Atlas Persona Team fantasy project.
Oh my god, dude! Grand Blue or whatever. What is that?
No. That's a whole
Grand
different...
Blue looks
Yes, that's platinum,
dude.
Platinum,
yeah, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. They're such workhorses. I would expect to hear something of Monolith Soft sometime this year.
Yeah.
Probably not coming out this year, though. Last two from... first one from Thomas. Hi, allies. Which Zelda project might we see first in 2019? A completely new 2D game, a remaster, or possibly something else? Thanks to Breath of the Wild, the series is more popular than ever, and it... sorry, I was can't disagree with that, but it is very popular. Thanks to Breath of the Wild, the series is more popular than ever, and it would make sense having something for 2019. Love and respect.
Something's getting remade, Damiani. Something is getting remade.
So, like, here's the thing. There was a rumor of a Link's Awakening remake, remaster, whatever, happening last year. It never came to fruition.
That's the one to do.
It's the one to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like of most of the Nintendo series, Zelda's gotten the most re-released remasters. It's like the Final Fantasy syndrome where they keep re-releasing and like the same game over and over again because it's just so popular. I'm at the point where I think they need to stop.
I'm not.
I would not be disappointed, but like I'd rather their efforts go into new entries. Yeah. I'd rather see new entries, and if they could get a new 2D style Zelda or even a Link Between Worlds game out at the expense of less remasters or remakes, I would definitely take that over that
classic.
team.
I guess I'm not necessarily convinced that it would be at the expense of anything.
So you're right. That is a good point. They've had Grezzo do a lot of their remaster and legwork for that, as well as I'm forgetting the other team's name, but they have let other teams work on their older game conversions while the main Zelda team works on one or two multiple projects at the same time. So you're definitely right with that. And I would love to have everything, Ben. I'd love to have I'd love to have it all. New remasters, new TD games, and Breath of the Wild 2 and stuff.
Would you want an Ocarina remake?
I mean, all I want right now is the 3DS game ported to Switch. I just want to be able to play it on a console.
Would you be scared? Would you be pumped?
If it was just the 3DS game?
Ocarina of Time remake.
Oh, so like a true like new
straight
remake.
Up, we're going Final Fantasy
I'd be a little
7,
nervous.
Resident Evil, Ocarina
excited
of Time.
and anxious and excited at the same time.
Okay.
Like mixed feelings.
I really want Link's Awakening. A redone version.
I
of
am
Link's
more
Awakening.
terrified about that one. I think that game is so special and unique because of what it is. I'd be super terrified about them altering that game.
Sure.
That more so than a lot of the other games. I think Ocarina of Time, for whatever reason, it's like easier to update that game. I think Link's Awakening, I would be really scared about them altering any of the events, and like I think it works so well because of like that retro aesthetic. It's the story it tells in that game is really good, and I think that's not dependent on that, but I'd worried some of the charm would be lost, just like my fear of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a different game. It can still be excellent and still preserve the essence, but I'm not going to get those same moments that I got in the original version because they only work because it was like chibi 3D model aesthetic that like came off as like a kind of a comical effect, which is not going to translate into hyper realistic like Advent Children visuals, which that's like no, that it's not the same effect. But to answer the question, I think we are going to get a new non-Breath of the Wild Zelda game first of any of the three. I think we'll get before a new remaster remake.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a Link Between Worlds style game. Like Triforce Heroes, a Link Between Worlds aesthetic.
I would love that. If we alternate between Link Between Worlds style games and bigger, more ambitious Breath of the Wild style games, that covers all of my bases.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yep.
So yeah, that would thrill me.
Yeah, I want him to go the Resident Evil route. You know, I love that Resident Evil is in a place right now where they can continue moving forward with the franchise, but then also have a remake coming out and in Revelations even a spin-off.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the spin-off, the future, the past.
I do think
all of it.
You know, you can't do that forever because then it becomes just maybe a little bit too predictable.
Of course.
But I feel like Link Between Worlds is kind of begging for a next step where like that was just this perfect mix of nostalgia and newness that would definitely, I don't think people are tired of that approach yet. They could definitely do another one in that vein, and I think it would be well received.
Nice. Yes.
Our final topic from Stuart. Hi there, Damiani and fellow allies. I hope you all are doing well and having a happy 2019 so far. I have a pretty obvious question that you have probably received a lot of questions about already, but hopefully my 3-part variation brings a flavored twist to tickle the panelist discussions, the panelist taste buds. Here they are. 1. What is the panel's prediction for the rest of the Smash Ultimate DLC character roster for the remainder of the year? Do you think there will be surprises outside the announcement of the 5 that will be coming from the season pass? And these questions come hot off the recently data mined hero character found hidden in the current build of Smash Ultimate. Let's start there.
Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dragon Quest. The
Yep.
Yusha was the
Pretty wild.
and yeah, it came out to be.
Pretty wild.
I think that's going to happen.
Give me that Yangus assist trophy.
I don't
Oh,
know about
man,
ones
Yangus
outside of
assist
the
trophy
announced
hype.
5. I think Piranha Plant is going to be probably it. I can see new Mii outfits and stuff being thrown in the mix, but I think the 5 past characters are it for the coming year.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think they might go. The sport will go beyond this year, but I think for this year that's the plan.
Yes.
I refuse to give up. Waluigi's coming.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that Waluigi is not coming as a playable character in Smash. I refuse.
Nope, not happening. Not happening.
It's gonna happen. He'll be the final released character for the game.
I mean,
Going out on a high note.
I hope
Finale.
I also hope he's Bayonetta broken,
Yeah.
where like he just dominates the competitive scene, completely warps it into oblivion.
Waluigi
And,
versus
and
Waluigi final
Sakurai just
destination.
crosses his arms and says, "Here you go."
You asked for this.
Yeah.
most powerful. Do you,
For real, I would love Batman to show up.
okay.
Batman, Goku always gets brought up. That's a big
There
one.
is a Goku in Smash right now. I see everyone tweeted out about every hour they find the character Goku's based on is in a game on Nintendo, and I see they think they're so clever. Hey, look, Goku is in Smash. I'm like, all right, this is the 30th time I've seen this tweet. Everybody, chill.
So we're getting a Persona character. We're
Yeah.
possibly getting Dragon Quest
Quest.
repetition.
Crazy.
Okay.
Kazuma.
Let's just keep this RPG train going.
Okay.
All characters upcoming. The 5 characters are all awesome
Chrono.
RPG characters. Yes.
Okay.
You just go along that line. That's what I
Lightning.
want. Yep.
Well, here.
Yup.
Lightning probably wouldn't be my 20th choice, but
No,
sure.
Lightning. I mean, but this is the second part of it. Do or do not believe the rest of the rumors about the characters? So someone put out there the newest Grinch version of the rumor and stuff.
I mean,
that being Edric from Dragon Quest, so that's like what the hero would be. But then they go on to say Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, Steven Alex, with potential Master Chief skin from Minecraft, and finally Doom Guy from Obvious.
yeah, didn't they say like the Doom guys to promote Doom Eternal, and so you'd see it around E3?
Yeah.
A really low-hanging one. Robotnik.
Robotnik and Smash.
Let me play as Robotnik.
A really low-hanging one.
Low-hanging fruit, dude. How is Robotnik not in there? Or
I
like
don't
Knuckles?
think that's that crazy.
Robotnik?
Yeah, you
Of
just
all
make
the
it
things
seem
that are
like this
possible-
given.
Yeah.
I
If all
don't
things are
think it's-
possible
Yeah,
now, like,
dude.
that's
Mario and
insane.
Sonic have like
That's
the
insane.
easiest alliance ever, dude.
Yeah.
They've been through it. Naruto Sasuke vibes.
People really want
Nintendo and
Shadow.
Sega.
Danny,
Let's go.
regarding this like current batch of
Yeah.
proposed characters, I think it's just hard for me because we've gone through so many of these.
Yeah, I'm so burned out.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
you time
like
it with the movie, man. The Sonic movie. Get Robotnik in there.
I hope that you just for the tying it in with the movie, you just have Sonic's legs.
Jim Carrey does the voice, dude.
I'm not saying I'm not into it. I don't know. I think, like, yeah, it would be cool to get a broader number of, like, it'd be cool to get more Final Fantasy characters. Of course, it'd be cool to get more
Yeah.
Sonic characters. It'd be cool to get more Metal Gear characters.
the
But I think
boss.
what is most exciting is getting the series that aren't represented. That's why it was so awesome getting Castlevania. For example, or getting Bayonetta, or getting Joker from Persona, or Erdrick from Dragon Quest.
Dante.
Yeah, I want more series. That's really all I want.
Wesker.
You know, I like a lot of different series, and so I don't think I'm like too picky on what it is.
Whatever they do.
Yeah, like I would be
Really.
super hyped at Ryu Hayabusa. I don't know if that would hype up everybody, but that'd be cool to me.
Yeah.
So just more series representation.
Heck yeah, then.
I think the biggest takeaway from this, of what we've seen so far, is like I now totally believe in expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put any faith in rumors anymore, but like I expect to be kind of wowed by each of the remaining 4 announcements at this point. Like nothing is gonna be plain and ordinary about them.
One Punch Man. Saitama.
There we go.
Is coming.
That's their final smash. Good stuff. That is going to wrap it up for 2019 predictions and preview episode here. I want to thank everyone who submitted their questions for this episode of Friend Code. If you'd like to submit your questions for consideration in a future episode of Friend Code, you need to be a $5 and up patron. The week that we're recording, I will make a post calling for your submissions. I'll let you know the topic that we were talking about in the episode, and try and keep your questions related to that topic and keep them as concise as possible. Thank you to everyone who mostly did that this time. Makes it easier to include more questions in here and help with the discussion, so thank you for that. And also, if you're a $5 and up patron, you get this episode early as part of our early access tier. This episode and all other episodes go up on Sundays every other week, and then they're available on YouTube for everyone else on Tuesdays following that. But thank you again for all that. Thank you both of you, for being on this episode. A lot of good stuff. 2019 finally here.
It's so exciting, man. Games have been good for a couple of years now.
It's out of control.
Good couple of years.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotta get good, even from movies this year too.
Yeah.
Good stuff coming. But until next time, everyone, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.